Hello everyone, and welcome to the Direction Live Online by Esri Malaysia. My name is Nabila, and I am your host for today's session. You have joined us today for a webinar on digital transformation towards geo-precision agriculture. We will be joined by two specialists in Esri Malaysia in that area, and how this solution can drive the digital oil palm operation in Malaysia. So before we get the details of this topic, allow me to introduce our presenter for today's session. Okay, so today's presenter is Fatin, and she will be assisted by Amy. So they both are industry consultant in enterprise consulting team in Esri Malaysia. So without any further ado, I shall pass this presentation to Fatin. Over to you, Fatin.
Okay, thank you for the introduction, Nabila. Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Fatin, and together with me is Amy, and we will talk about driving transformation towards geo-precision agriculture. Okay, so GIS is helping users creating sustainable future. In the content of oil palm industry, we all know that under the national agenda, oil palm today is moving towards sustainable development. The aim for digital transformations by helping GIS to be able to help users to create a sustainable future by making industry becoming more smarter and make sure the business activity is being operated and monitored more and more in real time. So the focus of digital transformation may vary from one company to another, but however, this often boils down to the key drivers, adoptions of reliable smart farming system. So system engagement is really helpful to embrace precision agriculture to move forward in digital transformations. How it can be done, okay? So it's by having the ability to visualize where we can bring data to life with the maps, apps, and analytics that support our organization's digital transformation journey. The next point is the act. This is where we can have confidence in the agile decision with the location at the center of operations. Okay. The next way for us to embrace the precision agriculture is the plan. The planning is about the planning. This is where we can energize the planning process to improve operational workflows while mitigating risk for enhanced business performance. And the last one is the system of engagement in where it can provide easy access to essential information and useful apps by uncover spatial patterns and help us to analyze options for improvement. Okay, with the smart farming system in the Industrial Revolution 4.0, okay, so we will have enterprise platform that centralize all data and helping the digitally transforming plantation business cycle. This is where data can be generated from everywhere, especially for the entire value chains of the oil palm operation. So the data could be gathered from field mobile application where we manage the data, and then we can manage the data into a secure platform with a centralized infrastructure, and then we can have the data coming from drone area survey, okay? And then we can have a real-time IoT sensor for us to do a fleet monitoring, weather informations, okay? And then even we can do a generated data coming from a data science using modeling and deep learning, and we can have a big data analytic to do a yield predictions, and solve sustainability. Okay, so GIS is well adopted globally as an effective tools in precision agriculture. to where we use it to generate insight and driving business operations. And now, to embrace precision agriculture solutions under the agriculture plantation sector, we have the GeoPA solutions. So there are so many use cases developed by market leading using ArcGIS technology, but today, because of due to the time limitations, and we will run through the 6 fundamental areas that we foresee the plantation owner can rapidly deploy the application for precision farming. These are the geo-precision agriculture solution using ArcGIS technology. So let's move on to the 6 fundamental solutions. Amy.
Hi everyone, I am Amy. I will take over the presentation on the solution package that we propose. So let's go to the first solution, which is we name it as a land management. So we all understand that the most important asset in plantation is the land and the farm itself, because the revenues come from the yield that produced by the farm. So I believe most of the estate operation is still depending on the paper and also they jot down all the information on the record. Basically, the land management solution is to move your land detail and planting statistic from paper-based or Excel format into the centralized platform. This is just to give the easy access by everyone at anywhere on any time. So what is referring to the land detail? Well, referring to the land detail. Land detail is referring to our area statement on the land size, planted and unplanted area, and also we can know the abundant area and so on and so forth. So the planting statistic that we can store into the dashboard, into our solution is the palm density, the year of plant, the year of planted, the palm age, and so on. So when we have the map and data, it is accessible in the WebGIS platform. So it makes the user easier to bring the map and data to the field. So they can work offline for the field visit and also beneficial to both RSPO and MSPO internal audit. So we also can have this solution to manage the landowner or the landlord partial, the land location and ownership. And we can easily identify to avoid the duplicate land rental payment. So there are many possibilities to expand the solution to cover the added data. For example, if you want to include the asset maintenance, such as road repair, the covering, the culvert inventory, the infra inspection, the barn maintenance, and so on and so forth. So basically, this is the example of interface for the simple dashboard that we create for the land details that we are referring to the area statement of the land size, farm density, and if we have the new planting and infilling activity, we can directly know this information. So like I said before, I believe most of the plantation organization partially still depending on the hard copy method, still on the paper base, still bring the book record everywhere. The difficulties and the challenges when we still using this kind of method, this kind of conventional way, when we want to get the prompt information, we need to dig all the hard copy and we need to find all the file in the store just to get the information related to what we need. So now, thanks to the technology, we can get the information on our fingertips, know about the plantation area, who's managing the plantation area, the age of tree, and also the maturity, the tree maturity, and all the information needed. So basically, for the crop land information, we can directly know how many planted and unplanted area, where the area, the discrete area, and so on. And we can straight away know the land information based on the soil type and the soil pH and where is the location of it. So it is easy for us to plan for the fertilizer, for the maintenance, and many more. So the second solution that is on the most important plantation activities, which is the harvesting monitoring. So in getting the optimum yield, effective field data collection is also needed. So one of the apps that we offer on this package solution is apps that can update the production output and harvesting activities as the daily reports. So basically, we can know about the work production activity based on the production data. We can view it by field, by division, by estate, by zone, region, or also we can view it by country. Then also we can use the historical data on the production target. And we can use the historical data on the production trend to identify the gap of the production yearly or monthly. And also we can have the effective coordination harvesting activity with farm fleet management, where we can do tracking of fertilizer, truck operation, and many more. So this is a simple mobile application that can be used for. So when we talk about field worker apps, we know most of the concern from estate operation is all about the coverage, but not to worry, because thanks to technology, because this app can work both offline and online mode. So, so based on the apps that appear on your screen, we can fill in all the information and all the details. We can also submit the image or any attachment that we have just to prove. And all of this data that we key in will be direct goes into the database. So we will get the data almost real time. So we don't have to write the information on the paper, on the record books. So because if we write the information on the paper, we need to transform it into Excel and into the PowerPoint, then into the database. So basically, using this solution, we can eliminate the process using this simple mobile application. So after we submit the daily yield production report that I showed you on the previous slide. So this is the dashboard about yield production monitoring. So one of the capability using this platform is we can monitor and compare the yield production historically by selecting the main and reference year in the selection box here. So we can also monitor the productivity of the worker in the dashboard as appeared on your screen right now. So we believe that monitoring the worker productivity is one of the solutions that all farm organizations came forward. So once the estate workers submit the information, it will populate into our platform. So now using technology, we can have our latest update of our monthly or weekly production target. So we are able to monitor the yearly and monthly progress for each of our estate. So if previously we have the data in Excel, so difficult to imagine the yield or the output for each estate location. But now using this technology, we can even do the comparison with the historical data production trend just to identify the gap of production. So straight away we know if our production, our yield is increasing or decreasing. So if it's decreasing, we can do the action plan to overcome the issue, where maybe it's happened because of lack of labor or what might be possible. Or we can also integrate our platform with weather information for better decision making. So the third solution is to generate tree planting design blueprint in digital twin before actual implementation and eliminate the dependency claimed by contractor, where now we can assume the rough amount to be used for the replanting activity. So we can use palm counting using GUI capability for filling and chipping claim. So I believe that now everyone is using the technology drone. So with the use of our technology together with data from drone, we do process the information. We can do design for replanting, where at first we can have known information about the land area. And then we can work out different scenario quickly for our planting design. For example, what is the density if I would like to have the planting distance 8.5 meter, 8.7 meter, and 9 meter. So using our solution, we will able to adjust the planting design for optimum economical return for the next 25 years. So, and most important thing is to bring the design to feel for the lining assistant. So at the end, our dashboard, our solution will appear like this, where all the information is stored into the platform. The next solution is about the water management, where we're using it to register your river and the drainage network. Okay, so basically we know the flood level and determine the flood impact area with calculating the exact affected pumps, for example, for insurance claim. It also can be used for flow accumulation modeling and to identify the waterlogged area, and also mitigation measure to calculate the budget for bunding construction example, and also the total length and width that needed. One of our user is using this ArcGIS platform to enrich the land data with weather IoT for disease prognosis application. So this is a web application where we have to know the flood level and determine the flood impact area with calculating the exact affected pumps. For example, to use for insurance claims. So we can straightly away know and understand our ground level, where it will help us to plan for maintenance, bonding operation, and many more. So here where we can visualize how the topography of the area looks like, and we can visualize the ground and the layers. So for the next solution, we go to sustainability, where being used to monitor the water quality and the benchmark to national ambient water quality standard. So basically, this platform is for enrich their supply chain traceability. We can also do the open burning monitoring to know the potential area that will be affected. So the biodiversity assessment and monitoring and health safety accident reporting and audit. And one of our user, which is from Sime Darby Plantation, also using the platform to enrich their supply chain and traceability. So this is where we are using live feed data from Living Atlas for MODIS, Aqua and Terra satellite, just to monitor the burning area for open burning monitoring. So we can monitor if our estate and plantation area are in the high risk area. And this also we can giving the alert for the management to make any decision, any faster decision making. And also we can prepare ahead what should we do, who to contact for any losses happen. So our platform are intelligent enough to integrate with IoT data for enhanced business workflow. So this is one of the dashboard that we use to monitoring the wildfire, active wildfire dashboard. Next solution that I will cover on is on agronomy part. So by using our solution, we also involve in pest and disease operation. So to do the analysis and to determine where the location have high potential for pest and disease happen. So we can correlate soil profile data with planting statistics and production data. So we also can use the drone and satellite image catalog for production assessment and also farm health analysis and land use change detection. So using mobile application apps, we can use to collect the pest and disease infestation field observation. Just submit the information through the phone, then it will straight away goes to the database. It can be accessed anyway. You don't have to worry. So using the web application also, we can use to easily monitor the pest and disease operation status. So if outbreak is happen, we can easily determine the potential crops that will infected within the area. So it is also easy for us to know how many monitoring sites has been done. It's up us to plan ahead. And also what kind of action, who are the one that responsible for that. Everything we can have access just through a browser and even through a phone. So at the current moment, we only can share a few solutions that we can provide, but not to worry, because we can customize the solution based on the challenges on what you are facing and based on the goals that we want to achieve. So before that's all for the solution package that we can provide. I pass over the floor to Fatin to continue the presentation.
Okay. So Amy has run through the 6 fundamental areas that we foresee the plantation owner can rapidly deploy the applications towards the digital transformations of precision agriculture. So GIS is increasingly becoming interconnected by creating a solid geospatial infrastructure. So nowadays, users is demanding the plantation operation data to be accessed not only from a desktop just to create a map to manage the data, but they are requesting a platform that can be supporting all type of user to have an open and interoperable where it can be hosted in a cloud or it can be hosted in our premise. So the most important that this is ability to integrate all type of data and analytic where it can be accessed through the application, especially through a mobile device, and to have an interconnected network of plantation system, services, and application. It can help for everyone. Okay, a geospatial technology building a common framework for stakeholder engagement where it will provide a platform for your team to work closely. So even for our GIS manager, it can be used for agronomists, estate manager, IT, and everyone in the organization, or even to the entire nations. So at the end of it, by using the ArcGIS system, each application is able to handle different data source and interchangeable, everything in a one common platform where we can build the system of engagement that enable users from different departments to work together closely. So in a problem, building the system of insight, it can help to generate business intelligence through executive dashboard to help us to monitor, okay, to help us to have easy information. Okay, so and this the example as being presented by Amy. This is the presentation that we are using along our presentation. So we have ready to embark solution. These three solution, which is the land management, harvesting, monitoring, replanting, planning. So, but if you like to have one-to-one consultation for us to understand your requirement, so feel free to come to contact us and reach to us to our website. Okay, then I will pass the floor to Nabila to continue.
All right. Thank you for your attention. Okay, so far there was a lot to capture throughout the session. Okay, we have had a couple of questions come through, and if you have been listening intently and haven't had a chance to type out your question, this is some time, so you can do this by adding your question into the GoToWebinar panel on the right hand side. All right. We have one question coming from Mr. Patrick. He asking, can we use the mobile application when we are in the estate or plantation area where there is no internet connection? Okay, maybe I pass the floor to one of you guys.
Okay, all right. Okay. So thank you, Mr. Patrick. So actually, it's a really good question. So which normally is a common question from our user. So he's talking about the ability of a mobile application to work with or without internet connection, and the answer is yes. So our mobile application can work offline and online. So if there is an area there is no internet connectivity, so users still able to use the application. Users still able to update their work productivity because it will store into the system in the mobile device, and then it will sync into the database once there is a connection. So users still able to update the activity and the estate without worry anything. So our, like, just in conclusion, our platform, okay, our mobile application can work out without internet connections.
All right. Thank you, Fatin. Okay, for the answer. Okay, we have another question coming from one of our user here. Okay, Mr. Izwan, he's asking for the flood estimation solution. Okay, the question is, what kind of data that need to be to estimate the flood condition? Okay, maybe he's asking on the data readiness. Okay, in order for us to estimate of the flood condition.
So thank you, Mr. Izwan. So Mr. Izwan, so maybe, okay, based on my understanding, based on the question, which is you would like to know what kind of input to be for you to enable to estimate the flood condition. So in order for us to determine the flood, to understand about the flood condition, there's a several data that we need. Maybe we need to have the flood water level, and then we need to have the topography data where we can estimate about the level, the topography level, and then we should have like maybe the EM data to have for us to calculate, to do flow accumulation and everything. So this is where actually some kind of data where maybe Mr. Izwan, you can like we can have a detailed discussion for us to understand how you're doing for the current condition right now, and then and then we can determine what kind of data I need based on your requirement. Because like the question is quite general, so I can answer quite general, but maybe we can have another session for us to answer more detail based on your requirements.
Okay. Maybe I can add on some of the information that Fatin have give to you. Here in SG, we also have some of the use cases, okay, that are related to the flood condition, or if you want to estimate the flood condition. So maybe after this, we can sit together and discuss, or we can show to you the example or the use cases that we have, so that we will have more discussion moving forwards. Okay, so we will contact you very soon. Okay, and we have another question asking for the water management solution. Okay, so he asking that, did I need to purchase other solutions such as land management, or I can straight away go to the water management? Is it possible for this solution to integrate the water level to IoT data? So I pass this floor to one of you guys.
Thank you. Okay. So interesting. There's a lot of patient which is there's a lot of users are looking forward to the water management. Okay. So just to answer to the patient, it's not necessary for our customer to purchase other solutions. So you can straight away use our solution for water management. For example, where you can do analysis to determine the water flow or water accumulation, where we can identify where are the affected area, especially when we have heavy rain occur, and then actually is it possible for us to integrate with the water level IoT sensor data. So because Esri is a platform where we open for integration, especially for IoT data. So if we have any IoT sensor for water level, we can integrate where it can help us to do more live analysis. So just giving the example, even one of our customer, which is Sime Darby Plantation, they also integrate with our platform with the sensor data, where it can help them to in control in the disease prognosis application. Okay, hope I answered your questions.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Fatin. Okay, we have next question. Okay, let me see first. Okay, and I think this might be the last question because we haven't have like much time. Okay, the last question coming from Mr. Hamdan. Okay, do you ever have your own data model to come up with the health monitoring, palm counting, and other crop activities? Okay, so do you have your own data model? Okay, so I shall pass this floor to one of you guys.
Let me answer this question. Based on what Mr. Hamdan asked is, do we have our own data model? Mr. Hamdan, yes, we built many industry-specific data models. So basically, our basic goals are to simplify the process of implementing the projects and to promote and support standards that exist in our user community. Basically, for previous user, we do build the model for palm counting, and also we gather all the indices, the possible indices for the health monitoring, and also for the crop monitoring as well. Basically, however, if you have your own data or your own model, we can see how the technique and method on how you process. What S3 can offer is to do the POC as well, and we see how the models that we build to fit in your data. I hope this answer your question, Encik Hamdan.
Okay, thank you for the answer. Okay, Amy. All right. I think that's all the question that we can cover for today. If let's say we haven't had answering your question, so we will reach out to you later. Okay. So we really love your feedback. So please take a moment to fill out the brief survey that will pop up at the end of the session. To let us know any specific topic you'd like to hear about. Okay, perhaps you like more session on tips and tricks or any product and application. Okay, just let us know. Further feedback or question can be sent directly to events@sgmalaysia.com.my. And finally, if you would like to rewatch this webinar or share it with your colleagues, the recording will be shortly available on SG Malaysia events page. So thank you for joining us today. Okay, thank you, Fatin, and thank you, Amy. And we look forward to seeing you again for the next webinar. Goodbye.
Bye.